Hi. Hi, Chris. Hi, Bear. How you guys doing? Oh, it's very loud. Why so loud? Ah, okay. Hi, Jim. How you guys doing? Is it still cold in Detroit? How is it, Bear, in Tucson? Is it still cold, or are you guys having a bit of a reprieve? Hi, David. Oh, sorry. Silly me. Okay. So now you can hear me, can see me. Hi, good man. How do you pronounce your name? Guilherme? 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 You're French? Are you French? Is that a French name? Seems like a French name. Wow. Okay. It's still cold for me. I'm in Singapore, so it's hot. Although we're having like lower temperatures these few days. We're like hitting like 26 degrees centigrade. I don't know how much is it in Fahrenheit. Hey Siri, what is 26 degrees centigrade in Fahrenheit?
26 degrees Celsius is 78.8 degrees
Good
Fahrenheit.
grief. 78. Okay, 78 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what we're having right now. Right now. Okay, in the daytime it gets even higher. Probably about 80, 85. Oh yes, David. Yeah. It looks nice though in the picture. Guillaume. Ah, Guillaume. Guillaume. Okay. Hi, Michael. I enjoyed your Edwards video. How do they stack up against the Schecter PRS? Where would I rank them? Okay, the Edwards guitar, I rank them up there, just up there. And in fact, they are a little bit better made than the Schecters, because the Schecters that I played are mostly for Indonesia. So yeah, the Edwards are all made in Japan. They are impeccable. They're really good. They're really great guitars. I've never played on the Edwards guitar that I don't like. Yeah, seriously, they're that good. You know, all the Les Paul are kind of guitars, the tallies, beautiful tallies. You know, the wood that they use, the workmanship that they use, the appointments, everything. This all top class. I rank them as high among, even comparable to the S2s. Yeah, comparable to the PRS S2s. They're that good, and I think they cost a bit less than the S2. Clemson from Philippines. Okay, so I got it right. Guimon, you know, Guillaume, yeah, Guillaume. Okay, I gotta get used to it. French is so hard. It's one of the hardest languages that I know. Yeah, I never even like dare to take any French lesson. Although I might try. What gauge do you play, David? Tens or nines? I just finished work actually a couple of hours ago, about 2 hours ago. I was doing this recording session for a client. Yeah, I love it. I love working. I love doing sessions these days because I can take my time and do it. There's no rush. Not like before when I was in a studio, and studio time is expensive, so half the time you're rushing through the whole session because they don't want to incur more cost. But working at home is different. But it helps that the song is nice. So many times I played in sessions where I didn't like the songs because they were quite awful. Either awful because they are not written well, like badly written songs or badly arranged songs. I'm quite blessed because most of the sessions I've done, they're really nice, nice clients, nice producers. Oh, so 09s is 42s. I'm actually thinking of, but I don't think I will change it yet because I was thinking of maybe, I don't know, I'm still trying to think it over because I was half a mind to to string some of the guitars with 09s. And then some of the guitars in 010s, but I think I will not do that for now. I'm still comfortable with 010s. Hi, Zach. Where you from, Zach? What inspired me? I was bored, basically. I think I first got hold of a guitar when I was 13, 14, yeah, around that age. I don't know. I think I was influenced by my cousins because they used to hang around. I got fantastic cousins, and that was back in the 70s, early 70s. But my cousins are all very staunch Christians, so they're not into the hippie group. They don't take drugs. They don't get into fights and stuff. They're just decent kids. But they were in their early 20s, I guess, at that time. And they used to hang around and they used to play the guitar a little bit. Not really well, but they have a guitar there. And I believe they went to church, so, And I think I've seen them playing guitar, so I was kind of intrigued by this whole thing. And then Beatles came along. I mean, Beatles was there all along. So I knew about the Beatles and all that. And when I went to school, that was when I was 14 or 15. A schoolmate actually broke up his guitar and and started playing it in the schoolyard. And I believe he was playing Sandman by America. Remember the song? I saw you guys are too young to know about that. So, real simple song, like A minor. Da 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 da. So I got really interested in it. I think, and I thought to myself, that's a nice instrument to pick up because it just sounds so full. 6 strings. How hard can you get? Little do I know. Little did I know. How hard can it get? 6 strings. So I thought I could accompany myself singing with guitar. So I pestered my dad, and he got me a guitar, which is like the worst guitar ever. But I love it because it was from my dad. And it's relatively cheap, but the action is like really high. And I think I cut myself once or twice while playing it. And subsequently, I think my cousin took pity on me and gave me his guitar, which is a old Congress. If you remember this brand, Congress, and they were made in Japan back then. Nice mahogany guitar, I still remember. And I strung them up with nylon string because I thought it would be easier. And I started learning chords and stuff like that. And then later on, I changed it to steel strings, and that's it. Never looked back after that. From Alabama. Cool. Okay. So you grew up in the Bible Belt. I actually passed by there when I was with a group ministering in what's this place? Tulsa. So we actually went by the Bible Belt. Yeah. I was in Oklahoma for a while. On the way we went through Oklahoma to Tulsa, stopped by at Galveston, Texas, parts of Texas, Austin, that was years ago. Nice. Sorry, Lee Sing Kin. Yes. What's your favorite Jeff Chiang song? Okay. Zhang Xingze. My favorite. The one that's written by my good friend, Roy Fei Hui. Yeah, 爱如潮水. Yeah, that's my favorite. And there's another one that's really nice. I forgot what it's called. But I think I had a video of this in my channel. Yeah, that's the song that I played. I like that song too. Nice. In fact, he has a lot of nice songs. Bear, you remember? Yeah, great band. Really acoustic rock. Those are really acoustic rock. I understand you're running from a man who goes by the name of the Sandman. That's the song. It's nice. Maybe I should cover that. Make it a little bit more heavier. Nathaniel Alpha Putra. Okay, I'm going to take a guess. You're from Indonesia. I might be wrong. Hi, John. Nice to meet you again. I just want to buy my first electric guitar. Which one is more comfortable to play? SG style or ES335? I would think that if you have to choose between these two, get the SG. Yeah, SG. Yeah, the 335 is kind of big, and unless you like that warm sound, then I think you're better off with the SG. I started with the SG. I actually started with an SG. That was my first electric guitar that I started from. It's a long story which I always tell. It was on loan to me from my band leader back then. He was a school teacher, so I didn't have money to buy an electric guitar. I was still working in a full-time job, and I couldn't afford an electric guitar. So I was playing with this band, and this guy passed me his SG, his Gibson SG, or original Gibson SG. He's a real generous guy, and I actually started playing seriously, on that. Wow, David, that's good. Cool. Nice. When's the album gonna be out? Hi, Amelia. From Deutschland. Guten Tag. That's all I know, German, The other one is Nichizen. Which is stupid because I play a lot of World War II games. This is another one. In that com. In that com. Okay, so where are we? Stephen Fraser. Are hitless guitars weird? No, they're not. They're quite interesting, actually, if you get a good one. Michael Bryant. Which part of the world do you call home? Singapore. So you're in Florida? Cool. Trumpland. Mar-a-Lago is there, right? Sublime. What's your favorite Strat? My favorite Strat is a Strat. I mean, a Strat is a Strat. You gotta be more specific here. Like, you know, do you which make, you know, SSS, single, or a single humbucker, or a Fender Strat, you know. Michael Brown, do you ever play 7-string? Seems like you would play one well. Yeah, I would. I could. I just need time. Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe one day. Maybe I'll. Yeah, we'll see how. I'm trying to learn the lap steel, so it's taking me a bit of a time to learn it, because I want to. The way I approach an instrument, in case you guys are interested, when I'm interested in learning an instrument, like for example, any part of a, we call it, let's say, any time I want to learn a certain aspect of a instrument, like in guitar, there are so many things you can learn, right? So, like for example, slide guitar. I didn't play slide when I was younger. You know, I dabbled in it, but wasn't really a good slide. I don't consider myself a good slide player. But when I endeavor myself to say, okay, I want to pick up slide, and I would spend not a whole lot of time like noodling with a slide guitar. I would apply it in my recordings. I would apply it in songs, so that I understand the musical aspect to playing slide. You guys know what I mean? So that I won't, like, you know, be playing slide and playing by myself and yet not know how to apply what I've learned or what I'm doing into a piece of music, which defeats the purpose. So I for me, the best part to learning an aspect or instrument is to dabble in it while I'm recording something, so I can apply it into this piece of music. So the same thought process is for the lap steel, because I'm thinking of buying a good lap steel, like a Duesenberg, and I'm waiting for it to come back in stock in Thailand, because that's the cheapest I can find anywhere else, because in the States it's so expensive, and to ship it over is going to cost me a bomb. I'm really serious about taking up lap steel, and what I want to do is to apply it in my songs. Whether I'm doing a cover or whether I'm doing a recording, a session, or anything like that, then I can actually spend time, you know, learning how this instrument works. And you know, for me, I did a cover. I Just Want to Be Where You Are, and I played the lap steel. And during that whole session of me recording the lap steel, I learned so much. I bought a book, you know, about lap steel, but I think I learned more during that session than from the book. So that's just me. You know, that's the way my mind works. You know, my brain works. Yeah, anyway. Yeah. So you just asked the question, Doug McCoy. All right. Your approach to guitar, instead of attacking it, you treat it very gently. Do I? You should ask my guitarists whether I treat them gently. That's the thing. Okay, that's a great question, Doug. I used to. I think I'm certain part of me is still an aggressive player, because I was from that aggressive school of playing. Like, you know, back in the days when I was playing the club, we would like employ showmanship as well as musicianship as much as we can. You know. So there are many times when I do abuse the guitar, like, you know, playing real hard, strumming really hard, especially when you're playing rhythm and stuff like that, which I totally love. And when the adrenaline is pumping, sometimes when you're doing notes, when you're doing solos, you know, that we tend to pick really hard, like, you know. And the harder we pick, and you know, it goes both ways. It just doesn't mean that you you play aggressively on one hand and the other hand is passive. It doesn't work that way. So when you're playing aggressively, the whole body reacts accordingly. So your left hand will be aggressive too. And when you bend down, when you press your string down against a fret, it'll be a bit hard, harder than usual. And you know what happens? You go sharp. Okay, check this out. See? I didn't do any bending. I'm just pressing down hard. So that's what happens, And a lot of players, when they get all carried away, they go out of tune because they are pressing really hard. So I've learned to kind of control myself in such a way where, especially when I'm doing fast runs, I try to pull myself back and not go too aggressive. And I guess a lighter touch is a better touch, because once you pick really heavy, your notes tend to get all clunked up. Whereas if you want a more legato effect, then it's best to have it really light, so that you can just skip along the strings as easily as possible. Yeah, great question. I don't get people asking me these days, so that's a good question. Okay, so I do the exact opposite. A touch only as heavy as needed allows you to become more accurate eventually. Yeah, that's right. You're right. Hi, Travis from South Carolina. Wow. Show us some fancy inversion No, I can't show you none of that. I don't even know them. Fancy inversion progression. I'm a simple player. Hi, Finn. How are you? Hope you're well. Is the extreme weather. Gaida just passed. It's fallen, and we still got power. Brought myself. Wow. Okay. So what's Gaida? Is that a typhoon? A hurricane? I bought myself a Gretsch G265. Wow. Nice. Nice. Hi, Peter. Thank you, Michael. Thank you for that coffee. Ciao, Peter. Come sta? Emilia, I don't understand German. Alles get tremor bit dear. What is that? And I don't even have a translation here, so am I able to translate this? No, I can't. Can I? No? I got to put it in Alright, I'll do that for you, Emilia. What are you asking? All good. Oh, you're talking to someone else. Okay. That's how good, Gott danke, that's all the Deutsch I know. Yeah, Barry's just as bad as me. Hi, Doug. Okay. So you're from Texas. Cool. Is it cold in Texas right now? God, guitar is so out of tune. Do Simple Star Play is my main guitar. Cool. Yamo. Ah, my pleasure, Amelia. Stephen Fritz, do you ever feel arthritis in your fingers? Actually, I did a couple of years ago. When was this? This is back in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. Just right before I started the YouTube channel. I was having ache in my finger joints. And I was kind of worried because I thought that would be a hindrance to my playing, which sometimes gets a little bit uncomfortable because, there's this ache there. And first thing I did, of course, was I prayed and I asked God to heal me. and I did some research on my own too. And I started taking like supplements, fish oil. I started doing fish oil because I thought it would help, and apparently it did. And so the joints got better actually. So I didn't have pain after that. And right now I'm actually taking something else. I'm taking curcumin right now. So it's to help with the inflammation if there's any inflammation. Anyway, it's supposed to help the joints. And I'm taking like a mixture of curcumin and fish oil, so I will switch back and forth. And so far, I have no problems in my finger hand, in both hands. Or sometimes I get like numbness, like tingling effects, like pins and needles. Sometimes, but I think it's down to bad posture because the way I sit for long hours, especially when I'm doing a session like which I just did, or doing a video, and that includes the live stream, especially if it's live. It's like a 3-hour live stream, and that's bad. So remember to stand up every time. But there's also a possibility that I'm having a B plus or a B complex, a vitamin B complex, or no, B plus deficiency, and that I can understand. So I'm taking vitamin B supplements too at the same time. I think as I grow older, as we grow older, we are dependent upon supplements, but we can get overboard with it. We can just actually have all these supplements in the food that we take. But my dietary intake is so radically weird. Sometimes I don't eat fish like for the longest time, and then I'll be eating a salmon or some kind of fish. Or sometimes I won't take beef for the longest time, and no meat. I'll be having vegetables and no meat. And sometimes I'll be having meat and pork and beef and chicken all the time. So it's like really topsy turvy, and it's not much of a staple, a steady staple of diet. So supplements is the only way for me to kind of like even myself out, so to speak. Gusto, favorite amp. Right now it's this one. But before this one, it was, in fact, it is still my favorite amp, the Fender DeVille, right? Fender DeVille is my favorite amp, and close second would be the Twin Reverb, and then this I love, I absolutely adore this amp because it sounds so good. Adrian Chia, hey, hi. Great tip on not getting carried away when playing. Saw you posting on Helix Facebook page. Thank you, Adrian. You're from Singapore, or you're from somewhere else? Are you based somewhere else? Bear question. John, have you heard Martin Miller from? Yes, I have. Great singer too. He's got an exceptional voice. Great player. And he's into the 80s. Yeah, he loves the 80s, the music from the 80s. Prego, Peter. Prego. It's 70 degrees right now. Wow. Is that not too bad? Is it? Still cold for me. Guitar professionals. Is there a new Les Paul? Just kidding. Gibson stays in tune. No, they do not. Yeah, they do not. They don't stay in tune as well as this guitar. I have a, in case y'all know, right? You guys probably should know. I have a Les Paul, a classic, and when I first got it, I was like, man, I thought I bought the wrong guitar because I regretted my choice. It's a nice looking guitar, sounded happening, it sounded so good, but just couldn't stay in tune. Y'all know why, because of the way the strings are coming down to the nut and all that. So I thought the only way to do this was to get it fixed. So I went out to the shop in my friend, what's his name? Damn, I forgot his name. Anyway, yeah, he told me that that he can solve my problem. So I asked him. I said, "Do you think a Spretzel lock-in tuner will help?" He said, "Yeah, why not?" So I got it. I got them installed into my Les Paul. So the stock tuners, I misplaced them. So right now the Spretzel tuners are on my Les Paul, and he kind of fixed the nut for me because he had to like flow in. So he had to recut the nut, and that's good. And now my guitar stays in tune. My Les Paul actually stays in tune, but Les Pauls are notorious for not staying in tune. Yeah. One more question, John. How do you like your orange amp? I love it. I just said it. I love it. It's really versatile. Yeah, super versatile. What, bike mic to bike mic? Wow, I have the same problem with my fingers, and it's not because of the way I sit. Some days I wake up and hurt all over, especially my hands don't work very well. I can drop my pick. Oh, well, how old are you? To bike mic. Gusto, one good exercise for warm up. I think I showed you guys before the figure eight. The figure eight exercise. Sorry, I'm not warm up yet. Okay, real slow. So you go like from the top, you can go. And then you go down. That's one. The other one will be the chromatic exercise. So always start from the bottom because that's where you stretch out your hands and later on just go up. I'm tired. Okay. So right to bite mic. Glucosamine. Okay, glucosamine doesn't really help with the joints. Glucosamine is more of a supplement for your bones. So as you guys know, as we grow older, our bones will start to shrink a little bit. In fact, quite a lot. Our brains will also start to shrink. So that's something that I learned recently. Glucosamine is for the bones. So if you're having problem with the joints and all that, so you gotta take something that will prevent or rather suppress the inflammation. The inflammation is the one that's causing the pain. Basically, I'm not a doctor, but after taking like the fish oil and curcumin, it really helped. So you get what you paid for, just like guitars. So the supplements, you got to choose the right ones and not go for the cheap ones because there's a whole lot of difference to it. I get my supplement from iHerb, so you can kind of like browse around and see which one you should get. Hi Adrian, okay, you're from Singapore. Cool. Welcome. Is it the first time here? Peter, Jon Koh pensi deli MP Mesabuki. Oh, see, but a long time ago, like many years ago. I played on one Mesa Boogie. I loved it, but it's too expensive. It is very expensive. I cannot afford it. So, yeah, and it's very hard to get a Mesa Boogie here in Singapore. Peter, comprende English, né? Roland Rivera, for a while I wanted the orange Schecter from watching you review and play it, but now I want a PRS since people. Nah, you're leaning towards the yellow semi-hollow. The yellow semi-hollow is actually a what's that? That's a PRS semi-hollow, right? In Santana yellow, if I'm not mistaken. That's a SE. That's a nice guitar. Yeah, it is a nice sounding guitar. But you don't have to follow what I reviewed. It's just that I have these guitars available, so I'm thinking okay, might as well just do a series about the PRS guitars that I like. You notice I don't do like the other guitars because I don't really like them. Now I'm stating again, PRS is an acquired taste. Okay, so there are certain tones that I don't like from some of the guitars, especially the 24 frets, because I just don't get it. The 22, yeah, I can understand. The 22s, I can still live with the 22s, and I like the tremolo arm, so I'm happy with that. I'm hopefully Janet will bring in the studio, because I'm looking at the studio. I'm thinking that this is a great guitar, but I've yet to try it, so I don't know. Yeah, it sounds good. It looks great. But the way it is a single, but they're using the narrow field pickups. Is supposedly a noiseless single call from PRS, so that's interesting. Yes, the tusk nut. Yes, the tusk nut would solve a lot of problem. My Logify. Some people say it's fixed by using a nut sauce or just. Dude, I've done that. Been there, done that. I bought a nut sauce. My friend Daniel was in LA, and I got him to to bring home 2 bottles of the nut sauce, and it was like black in color because they're like graphite, and it doesn't work well, especially if you have a white nut. It's a whole lot of messy. And then I have the other one from Music Nomad, which is a transparent, which I prefer because it's transparent, so I can actually apply it on a white nut. But all these will wear out after a while, especially when you do a change of strings. So I think the best is to get a really good nut. Regardless whether it's a bone nut or a tusk nut, but it has to be cut properly. It has to be like, cut in a way where your strings doesn't have a whole lot of resistance, and that's where the problem with a lot of tunings come. I didn't know about all this before that. I didn't have any interest in it, but ever since I started doing the channel, I kind of like, it's really frustrating to play on one of the videos and find out that after like one bar you are out of tune, especially when you're using your wang bar. It's totally irritating, it's so frustrating. So I have to find a way to solve that problem. And the only way to solve that problem is to cut the nut, which I'm not at the luxury to do where the guitar does not belong to me. I could do that with this guitar because this guitar belongs to me. I could do it to my Harley Benton, so the present guitars that I own. No problem. I can cut it and the guitar stays really well in tune. But for a guitar that's going back to the shop, I would not do that. And that sometimes is a bit frustrating for me because I know that the guitar will play really well if it's adjusted accordingly. And henceforth, sometimes I don't use a whole lot of tremolo arm on some certain guitars because they just don't stay in tune. Yeah, it's not the fault of the tremolo arm or the fault of the guitar or the tuners, nothing like that. It's just the nut. The nut is the main culprit. Second is the string trees. So if I were you, if you're looking for another guitar, buy a guitar that doesn't have any string trees. Or better still, if you love a guitar with a string tree, then get yourself a set of staggered lock-in tuners and get rid of the string tree, and you'll be better off. Trust me. Bill Beryl. No, I would not, because that's one of the guitars that I don't like from PRS. I never liked the John Mayer Silver Sky. Never did. I reviewed it once. My friend Sean bought it, the core model Silver Sky. I reviewed it. I enjoy myself playing on that video, but yeah, to me, I'd rather buy a Strat. I would rather get. In fact, there's a whole lot of other guitars that are better than the Silver Sky in the PRS, like the Fiore. Fiore is a great guitar. Yeah, I think that's a better guitar than the Silver Sky, hands down. Tremor, my brain is very tiny now. Ryan Boy, your reviews on Maestro guitars have turned into addiction for me. I bought 3 Maestros and absolutely love the sound. Good for you. SSG, I like the tone of PRS SE Silver Sky over my Nick Johnston Strat. Wow, really? But I ain't getting one. Instead, I will get a PRS SE 2408. Okay. That's a good choice, actually. Adrian, I've been watching a number of your reviews on YouTube. Also enjoy your vlog style videos and some overseas gigs. Yeah, thank you. No, I'm not into jazz. Sorry, Chris. I love listening to jazz, but I can't play jazz to save my life. I'm bad. I'm really bad at that. Can't even play music properly, let alone jazz. Adrian, I have a hollow body too. Ah, nice. Not easy to play with? Why? Why is it hard to play with? It's not easiest to play. I actually tried. Actually reviewed one of those. They're okay, easy to play. Relatively easy. Yes, Davo. Imagine David has his harp and he discovered that there's a distortion pedal or an overdrive pedal. I wonder how it sounds like. You can probably like knock out Goliath by just one power chord on the harp. I always thought about that. Hi, Pooh. Where are you off to? Radamis Boz. Hey John, can you show your funky strumming technique? An old video of yours, you were making strum on org strings and Only on one at a time. Ah. Sure. Which part of Italy are you from? OPRS SE22 also have the thin neck, but it doesn't have the natural black finish yet, which I really love. Ah, okay. You too, Pooh. You take care. Fabian Detmeyer. Hi. From Germany. Which part of Germany? I think it'd be the neck radius that shows me. It took me a while to get used to the hollow body. I don't know. Yeah, right, Davo. Adrian, I never had problem with neck radius, fret radius. I don't know. Probably that's the way my fingers are. But I could play comfortably on the 7.25, all the way up to maybe 14. I think that's as flat as I can get. Other than flatter than that, I think I'm gonna have problem. But I haven't tried one that's like 16. I think the flattest fret profile that I ever played on was, I think, a 14, if I'm not mistaken. The PRS are all at 10s, and the Schecters are all at 12, 14. I forgot. Yeah. You're not interested in the 8.5. Yeah, neither am I. Alright, so who was asking me about, oops, I just turned off my who's asking me about that who is it? My Italian brother. Yeah, Rademus. Alright, so when I'm doing strumming, the left hand will have to mute a whole lot of stuff. So basically, this is one way of doing it. The other way is just to be pretty precise on. So, I don't know how to describe this. You can either do it real precise, like I'll just show you, or you can do it like a sweep. In this way, you get that rhythm thing. Yeah. I love disco, so. Yeah, but nowadays, like the way the modern bands are doing this, more of it's more precise, So it's just a different take. So it's up to you, basically. J Bay, I love 10-inch fret fingerboard. I'm not interested in. Okay. Where you from, J Bay? You're from Israel? Is that Hebrew that I see there? Prego. Is there a secret to getting punchy low ends without ice pick at the other end? Tally is the closest I can get. Also play Doheny V12 and Square Jazzmaster. Love your channel. Thank you. Well, one of the reasons why we have ice pick is sometimes the pickups are ceramic. I didn't know that until Wayne divulged that information to me. That that you can actually get the ice pick sounds mainly from the ceramic pickups. That's the way the ceramic magnets work. But well, apparently you can get the ice pick sound sometimes from Aneco pickups too, which I've experienced before. If you want to avoid the ice pick sound, then you got to be careful about where your thumb or various part of your fingers is coming in contact with your pick. This is where you create all sorts of little nuances. Sometimes desirable, most of the time not desirable. And I'm one of those players that do not like just the pick doing all the work. I like certain parts of my finger, especially my thumb, to be part of the whole tonal thing. That's why I can get the tone that I want, the nasal. No, this kind of tone. So it's a question of how you are comfortable with your body, basically, and how comfortable you are hearing what is coming out when you're doing all this. Do you like what you hear? Because if you don't like what you hear, then you could try another technique. And I've spent years like perfecting, or rather customizing my technique to get the sound that I want to hear, and that's what I'm doing. So different poisons for different people. So some might work, some might not work. So you might be mimicking a style that someone else is doing, but you might kid yourself and say, okay, this is the sound, but you might not be enjoying it, and it will plague your playing. It would affect your playing because you're not enjoying what you're hearing. So what the heck for? I mean, you're gonna play guitar and make sure that you're playing something that you like. Or else don't play guitar. Play something else, or play some other songs, or play some other techniques. Hi, Leith. Oh, okay. So, hi, Rick. You're from California, but now you live in southern Utah. Nice. That's a nice one, Devil. I use a very cheap pick. These are from Harley Benton, 1.2, and I love them. Absolutely love them because I like triangle picks. Can you see this? These are triangle picks. So it doesn't matter where I hold them. It's still the right way up. And especially when I'm doing like strumming and stuff, like the rhythm stuff, and then I go back to like a solo, I'm not afraid of, where's the other end, like sometimes you have these teardrop picks. I hate those. And recently I what are those picks? I chanced upon this old gentleman. I forgot his name. He's from Singapore, right? He does picks. He does custom picks, and apparently he sells them maybe online. He has yet to touch base with me, but I just saw him in City Music, and these are the picks that he's doing. I wonder every scene of this. It's pretty interesting because you have like a little grip right here, so that it's easier to hold, I guess. And these are like thick picks. This is 1.8, good for you metal chuggers, and 2.5. Beat that out. This is 2.5. This is really thick. I haven't tried this yet because I don't know how it will work. Maybe I should. Let's give it a whirl and see how it feels. 2.5 is crazy, man. 2.5 is like really thick. You can feel it. Ah, yeah, it's nice. This is nice. I thought I wouldn't be like. It has like little grooves in the middle so that you can just fit your thumb over it so you won't like slip. This pick is definitely for shredders. You can like get really nice. I'm actually quite surprised, pleasantly surprised. But how does it work when playing? Good lord, that's loud. Oh, not bad. It doesn't slip. Yeah, I think for rhythm, this nylon ones are nice, but I think for like solo work, if you're playing like a lot of metal, yeah. So I'm asking him to like get hold of maybe not so thick, maybe a 1.8. Let's try the 1.8. So this is what, 2.5? This 2.5? Yeah, it's 2.5. Great for metal players if you're a shredder. Hi Jodix, how are you? Hi Fabian. From all my PRS guitar, is my Lowry and Robertson the most comfortable to play. Cool. I never heard of this guitarist, Robertson. Brighter. This is 1.9. Sounds cool. Okay, the thing about I don't know why you guys have this problem. Okay, so after like long hours of playing, my calluses would get so deep And sometimes you get caught up in the strings, and it's hard to move out, so you get stuck. And I have to like take my nail cutter and chip off like certain bits of the skin, the calluses, and kind of file them flat, which I'm supposed to do right now because it's going to hinder my playing. Yeah, so this is one of the occupational hazard that I face all the time. And it becomes like the finger, you have like grooves within it, within the calluses. It is bad. But basically, we're talking about dead skin here. You hear that, right? So now I've taken out the edge. Now I have to file them all flat so that it's relatively flat in a way. Yeah, that will do. So, yeah, this is like my usual regimen. Yeah, of course. Like this is like for, like I said, it's for metal. The response is really quick. Hi, King Chan. Yes, you are normal, Adrian. It happens to all of us. Yeah. The problem is that sometimes we don't play that much, that we don't have calluses. So we don't experience that problem. That shows something. That shows that you're not playing enough. And guitars are really sensitive. When you're working in a air-conditioned environment, or if you're in a cold weather or country like most of you guys are, you're gonna have like fluctuation in tuning when you leave a guitar in the room and you're not playing them. Like when you're holding it, when you're running your fingers along the frets, you're actually warming up the strings. So guitar would generally be sharp when you leave it in the room when you first pick it up. And what I do is that I would tend to not tune. It's pointless for me to tune because it's going to go flat after a while when I started playing. And true enough, it will be flat because you'll be generating heat along the strings. So it's only the time when after I played for a while, like maybe about 10 minutes, going up and down, strumming and generating friction and energy along the strings, then I started to tune it and it will stay in tune. for the longest time. Right. So something to take note of. Hi Pascal, how are you? Hi Brian. Stephen Fraser, what would I think about Richlight? I think they're okay. I think they're okay. I mean, there are some people who don't like them. They prefer ebony. For me, I would prefer like a good rosewood fretboard, but we can have what we want. And the reason they have Richlight fretboards is because they want to cut down the cost. And I think it's okay. I think it's really playable. Brian K, I've been interested in Dan Electro guitars. Any thoughts? Wonder if they fit well in praise and worship. Brian K, I've heard they were kind of against gay marriage. An article about Dan Electro. Have you done any videos on the guitar and gear you're using for live streaming? I think that would be very informative. Guitar and gear? Or live streaming? No. Because basically whatever I'm using for the videos that I'm doing are being used for live streaming. Except for the microphone, which is a USB mic. The rest is the same. I'm just using a different software. I'm just using the Streamlab for me to stream. Other than that, the amps, the guitars, or whichever guitar I'm playing, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah. So if you're still interested in that question, Brian, don't matter what guitar you're using for praise and worship. I think God is not like, dude, you're not using a PRS? You just cannot worship me without PRS. Oh, you're not using Gretsch? No. All church guitarists should play Gretsch. Don't matter. You can play a Hardy Benton, and God will still be pleased with what you have to offer. It's us and our vanities sometimes that get the better of us. I've played like real cheap guitars on some of my worship sessions, even the ones that was recorded in Taipei. When I was there with my brother Eric, and it was a big time production. And I brought my Squire Tally, modified Tally there, and it did what it's supposed to do. As long as you maintain the guitar, as long as you know what you're doing, it doesn't really matter what sort of guitar you're using. So there's this whole hype, about church guitarists, like wanting to buy all the expensive stuff. I don't know why. Back then we will make do with whatever guitars we have. Sometimes we don't even have electric guitars, but I see all these big mega churches where the guitarists will have like PRSs and Gretches and whatever that is the in thing, in among the Hillsong or Planet Shaker, whatever Planet Shaker is using, they all buy the same guitars. And one time they were all into Les Pauls. I don't know why they do that. But that's just me. God is looking here at your heart, not this part, not what you're holding in your hands. God is always looking at your heart. If your heart of worship is in the right place, you can use a real cheap guitar and it'll still make wonderful music. You're right, Dave. Grace Ridge. I'm good. A lot of Canadians here tonight. What's that? Yes, Judix. Okay, I'll stop playing. Have you reviewed one of the HB semi hollow? I actually requested for one, so I'm waiting for Harley Benton to solve or to settle down because of the year end, the Christmas and everything. They were so swamped with all the deliveries that they told me that they can only send it somewhere in January. So I'm just waiting for them to get back to me. Yeah, I actually requested for one of the HBs, which I thought would be interesting. Which one did I have? This is about this is 2.5. Interesting picks, I know I actually prefer a thinner one. Virocraft, nice. Best wishes from Somerset, UK. Recently bought an ASAT special on watching your reviews. Funny, it doesn't sound the way you play. Well, you get there. It will. Which one? Oh, ASAT special. Oh, that's a great guitar. Yeah. David Zamperi, is there a way to understand modes easily? Many ways to understand modes. There are many ways to approach modes. I think one of the best ways to kind of like look at it as if you're doing, say, for example, a bass note and you have it drone like an E, for example. Okay, I don't know how to go about teaching this because I do teach about modes, but okay, so this is E, right? So when you're playing on an Ionian, which is a major, so modes as Ionian, so that's a major. And then you start, the next one will be D, Dorian. Right, I don't like, and then you have the, what is this, Lydin, Lochran? No, or Phrygian, I forgot which one is this. As you go down, you're actually playing like different scales. I'm playing like E major scale, and then I'm playing a D major scale. Then I'm playing a C, so it's a C major scale over E bass, and then I'm doing, so it's Phrygian. This is Phrygian, and then I'm playing a B over E. There'll be a Lydin, so very Joe Satriani. And then I don't particularly like modes, and then you have the Mixodynian, which is an A over E, so you're playing an A scale. I don't particularly like modes Aeolian, which is the major. So in this case, you're playing a G. So after A, you go to G. So G, when you're playing a major, when you're playing the major scale of G over E bass, you're actually playing the E minor scale, which is basically a G major scale, and that's the Aeolian, which is a minor. And then the last one will be, I don't particularly like modes. The last one is Lochran. Yeah. So Lochran is kind of weird, like F over E. I guess a lot of Spanish music would have that. Yeah. So you can look at it this way, where you have a grounder like an E bass, and you kind of know, okay. And I picked up a lot from this. And the other way of looking at it is that on a certain scale, like a major scale, you can hit at certain notes to kind of like to identify that as a mode. Like for example, see, I'm still on an E major scale, but I'm just hitting the D a lot. And then if I were to go to say, I don't particularly, okay, we're going to Phrygian, which is kind of weird, so I'll skip the Phrygian. And I would just go directly to Lydin. So Lydin would be a B. So if I could hit some of the notes in the B major scale, which is basically in the major key of E, except for this note, So which is a what is this? This is a B flat. Is it B flat? Yeah, yeah, B flat. On right. So when you're starting hit notes of certain key notes of a scale that you're going down, and then you start to have like this kind of a sound to it, and that's where the modes are starting to come alive. It only goes for certain modes if you approach it that way. I think the best way to approach it and to get yourself familiar is to do the first example that I just showed you, where you have a bass note, droning. Like you can do it A if we want to. So you can just go down. Right, so you can kind of experiment with that, and there are a lot of videos in YouTube about modes and how you understand modes. So, yeah, I think there are better teachers than me. Thank you, Devil. I'm satisfied with the stability of tuning, tone, and smooth neck or PRS, even S2 for 8 years. Wow, nice. Thank you, Adrian. Good night. Brian Kia, thanks for your thoughts. I find the Dan Electro quite unique and distinct with the single coil lipstick because they're like no other guitars fun to play. Well, cool. I know. I've got no qualms about you guys bringing your PRSs or whatever guitars that you find comfortable when you're doing a worship session. As long as you're comfortable in what you're doing. But there are guys who will go to a worship service and take pictures of the guitars, and it's like the guitars is the main thing, so that kind of like defeats the purpose of worshiping the Lord of Lords, where you're actually worshiping in a way you are paying a lot of attention to the guitars they're using. Like I said, as long as you're comfortable with what guitars you're using, it could be at the top of the line or the bottom of the line, it doesn't matter as long as you're comfortable, right? All right, David, ciao, arrivederci. Right, so if you guys got any more questions, you better ask them straight. I'm leaving in about 10 minutes time, so I'm going to call it a night. Y'all want to hear what I played early on in my session? I don't know where I'm supposed to to show it, or maybe just portions of it. I think it should be okay if I would just play like different small portions of it. You guys want to hear it? You're welcome, Fabian. I hope you learned something. I didn't. Steven Fraser, have you ever tried a roasted pine body Stratocaster? Roasted pine body, no. No, not yet. I've tried a roasted swamp ash body. Yeah, that's really nice. That belonged to my good friend Rex Go in Australia. So he has this really nice looking swamp ash. I think it's roasted and it sounded great. I'm just gonna play like portions of this. I don't think I want to like divulge the whole thing. You're welcome, Bear. Okay, you guys can hear this? Alright, and then you have like I think the last part of this. Yeah. So basically that's it. That was because this is done with the S2 Custom 22. I like it a lot because it's very versatile. I think this is one of the most versatile guitars that I've used so far. The other one will be my Nick Johnston, which is superb. If you want a Strat sound, especially for the muting and stuff like that. But that Custom 22 did just fine. Although I believe some of the muting was done not on the Custom 22 but on my actual Japanese traditional Strat. So yeah, you get, for me, and whatever guitars I have in this room, it's there is a purpose for all of it. And it depends on the tone that I want to get. Phaeton. Just want to say thanks for all the content. Happy owner of a Schecter. Cool. I'm glad. Yeah, it's a great guitar. I think it's worth the money. Yeah, it's not that expensive. It's really affordable and it's well made. Yeah. JB, I love your channel. I enjoy your playing. Your playing and tone make me feel good. I sure hope. Yeah, I'm glad I made you feel good. Anything else you want to ask me before I call it a night? Okay, before I go, maybe just want to check out what are your some of you guys, like, you probably have New Year resolutions, like, what do you want to do this year? So I asked this on the last live stream I had. That was like on the last day of the year. But now we are like going into the second week of the new year. So what's your New Year resolution? And are you realizing it? Is it coming true? All right, Brian, that's good. Vilcraft, Looper tutorial in the future, maybe. Maybe, I don't know. I guess it's kind of hard because every different loopers have their own way of doing things. Their different um, modes of operation, modes of operandi. So it's kind of hard to do a general thing. Or else I could easily do a simple um, simple instruction on the most simple looper I can find, which is a ditto. Yeah, I love this looper a lot. It's so easy, It's so easy to use, and I have better loopers. I have the looper in my Helix. I have the looper on the MG30. I have the loopers on the Ampero. But I like this because I can kind of use this with the amp, so I can actually hear it. The only thing is that I need to have a power supply for this, and it's not battery operated. Yeah. Oh, working harder on the gym. My guitar is great. My resolution this year was to ride more, was to ride my bicycle more. But I'm not doing it because of the weather and because I'm so tired. My sleeping habits have gone back to the original sleeping habit. And I don't cycle in the daytime. I try not to cycle in the daytime. I try to cycle really late. And, by the time I stay up late tonight, but it's because I woke up late today. I woke up about 1 p.m. So I'm able to stay up. You see, I'm relatively awake, even though I've just done like 5 hours work of sessions. Well, give or take 4 hours, 5 hours worth of sessions. So doing a session work, it draws a lot from my mental strength, because you're thinking, you're playing, and you're trying to plan parts out. So yeah, I get tired. I'm getting old anyway. So I like to cycle around like 1 a.m. So yeah, and now my sleeping habit. Hopefully, today I can just kind of switch back to what I usually do, which is to sleep real late and and wake up real late. Then hopefully maybe tomorrow I can just go for a ride. So that's one of my resolutions, is to ride more, right? Brian, my resolution is to walk closer to the Lord than I did last year and to read through the Bible 3 times this year. Cool. That's commendable. Right. That's great. That's awesome. Who else? Who wants to share what their resolution is going to be in this year? Oh, remember my friend Tony that I spoke about, who had COVID and was in a touch and go situation because he was intubated, and the doctors said that there was one time where the doctors called his wife over in the middle of the night, and we thought we were gonna lose him, but he hung on. He hung on, and well, the last time I shared news about him was he was getting better. Yeah, today I just received, or yesterday I received a message from him. He's all good right now, and he's going to be transferred to another hospital where he can start going through physiotherapy full time. So he's been cleared of all the virus and everything. So his lungs are okay. He's learning how to breathe again and stuff like that. So he's on the mend. So he's in high spirits. So he texts me to say, okay, I'm going to transfer myself to this next hospital, and I asked him, I said, when can I visit you? He said, he'll check out. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy to hear that he's out of the woods. Yeah, that's great. Okay, I gotta go since you guys are not say anything except for Joe Dixon and Brian. And yeah, Fabian, I missed out your question. Thoughts about PRS Velar? I think they're good. They're great guitars. I think I tried one before. Did I? Did I try the Velar, or have I not tried one yet? Well, I'll find out. If I haven't tried one, I'll ask from Miss Jeanette. Yeah. Yeah, Fabian, you take care. Right. So, but before I go, let me just say a short prayer for you guys, if I may. Cool, Devil. Yeah, incidentally, that's the second resolution I'm supposed to have, which is to start work on my album this year. I don't know where I'm going to start because I have a project I'm supposed to do, so I'll probably be finished by April or May, and then we'll see how it goes. All right. I'm just going to say a short prayer for all of us. Thank you, Jesus, for tonight. Thank you for my brothers and my sisters who are able to attend this live stream. Lord, I pray that you will bless them with your protection, that you will watch over them and their families, Lord. Keep them safe. I pray that, Lord, that your Holy Spirit would come upon them and give them wisdom so that they are able to deal with any challenges that may come upon them, Lord. Thank you for your grace, Lord, and thank you for your mercy. I will pray all this, Lord, in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. All right, good night. Hey, King, good night. Take care. Goodbye.